today I'm gonna talk to you about 5 things that light workers need to know about gaslighting. And this is a very serious issue, especially for light workers, because I feel like light workers are the most probably targeted people for this, because Earth doesn't want to, the current 3D Earth doesn't want to change because people are benefiting from other people's suffering. And so when there's a good, bright energy that comes in, obviously the dark is going to fight that. And and the dark find ways to keep the status quo so that it can live the way it wants to in this 3D world, which maybe it is their freedom. Maybe that reality deserves to live, but still, light workers who come here need to know this. So let's get into it. So number one, I would love to share with you is the blind spot. And it up to now, it's still hard for me to let this sink into myself, and it's been a long time that I've been living here on Earth, and it's just heartbreak after heartbreak, disappointment after disappointment, and it's still so hard for me to learn this, and it's kind of just hard to accept, because as a light worker, I tend to look into people's good potential, people's kind hearts, people's good side. I tend to see the best in people and never kind of like give up on people's light, because we bring light, and so we want to have faith in people's light. And so every time I go into a situation and someone would do something that is very hurtful or harmful, it's like I always get shocked. I always get like, what the hell? It's like, how can this person do this? How can they sleep at night? And it's like, I can't get my mind to wrap around this scenario where people just betray or like do harmful things on other people, on me. And especially as a light worker, when you didn't do anything wrong, and especially when you're just trying to be yourself, like that's all you're doing. You're not plotting anything bad to anyone. You're trying to do your job. You're trying to stay authentic to who you are, and yet some people seem to attack you. And to me, I see this as a blind spot for light workers, because we tend to expect the goodness in people so much that when darkness starts to express itself around us and to us, it always, I don't know with you guys, but this is my experience, it always shocks me. So maybe a good way to acknowledge this is to know that we have a blind spot, because probably we came from a place where the darkness doesn't exist or something like that, and it's not in our nature to expect darkness from people. And so maybe just acknowledging that would help. Now, it's important, I guess, to balance this with, I remember watching one of Aaron Dottie's video about, not self-prophesizing how people treat you. So if you're already expecting them to treat you badly, then it may happen, and instead envision a good interaction with people. So kind of use your discernment what is appropriate for a certain scenario. But yeah, just remember that there could be a blind spot that you have, and just acknowledge that if there is one for you. Number 2 to acknowledge, to know about this, is that the darkness does not play by the rules, and it will do anything to dim any light. And what I found is that I think gaslighting is a way that darkness uses your light to go against you, and for light workers to feel that there's something wrong with them being just themselves, being just their light. And they use that light, and especially that blind spot that I told you, that I talked about earlier, to work against you. And that's how insidious this is, because I thought, once I finally recognized that I'm a light worker, I thought that, all I need to do is shine my light. All I need to do is just be myself, and everything's gonna be dandy, easy. But I realized that there has to be more effort and awareness and kind of like skill that I need to learn to navigate this earth terrain, because the darkness is not gonna make it easy for us to just shine our light, because it wants to stay dark. So I think gaslighting is darkness effort to make sure that it stays dark in this earth. So, and it doesn't play by the rules. So if you're a light worker, you're probably like, I have these values, morals, and I serve people, I care about people. You kind of expect the rest of the world to have the same standard. But sometimes we need to acknowledge that that's not the case. And so we are here to teach people, because we're here to teach people need to learn something, and part of that is that they don't know how to shine their light. So the second I want to let you know is that, they don't play by the rules. So just being aware of that puts you in a situation, a more empowering situation, where, oh, okay, so what can I do about that? What skills do I need to handle that? And then that's what I'm going to talk about more later. And then the third thing light workers need to know about gaslighting is the shock. And I already kind of mentioned this in the start of the video, that we just when we are trying to be authentic, and and then someone doesn't appreciate us, or kind of makes us think that there's something wrong with us, then there's this factor of shock. And honestly, the reason I'm recording this video is because I just experienced gaslighting yesterday, and I'm still kind of recovering from it. And now that I'm kind of recovered, I believe, I just want to share this while it's fresh. And recently I want to share that I am starting to get into my own power. I'm starting to accept myself. I'm starting to love who I am more. I'm starting to appreciate how I speak, to appreciate that I don't speak, act, or move, or look like anyone else, and it's okay. I'm starting to love it, because before I was very, very conscious. I was, even with my ideas, with who I am, it's very different from people around me, and I feel very out of place. And usually I would just stay quiet because I don't want to rock the boat for people. But now I am making more effort to step into myself, as if you can say that, if I could call it that. And some people, I think, are seeing that. And I have yesterday, I guess, how would I say that? Because as a light worker, our work are usually not supported by the current society. It's like in terms of resources and money and stuff like that. And so yesterday, someone tried to kind of make me think that my path is a disgrace, because I cannot support myself fully yet. And it's like there's something wrong with that. And the way I'm gonna let you know that there's something wrong with that is I'm gonna pull resources from you, so that it's gonna be harder for you to do what you're doing as a light worker. And at that point when that happened, because I was just shocked, because I was like, it was more of a visceral feeling that it's not, I couldn't really think clearly. It was like, this is unfair, this is unjust, you know, a lot of people are suffering. As I was thinking, a lot of people, I mean, my you know, my work is very important in this world. How dare you? How can someone not support that? Why is it like, why does people need to make this hard for me? And it's like, you know, I felt like a victim. I felt like I hated this place. I felt like I want to leave this place. I felt like I was feeling anger. I was feeling like anger to all the society who's been oppressing me and my people, and like, and I thought about my ancestors, what they went through. I really went into that deep, and it's like there was that shock factor. And I guess when you feel that, it's okay, you know. I guess being in this physical body, we are carrying wounds and triggers, especially as a light worker when you're very sensitive in this earth. So maybe there's still trauma that is in our body, and I think it's an opportunity to heal that when they come out. And I'm actually gonna talk more about that in the next things that you need to know. So just know that the shock is okay, because it's like, we just can't believe how the world can do such things. But at the same time, that is why we are here. That is why we are here. And we need to shift ourselves so that we can be in a more empowering state about this. Yeah. Number 4 that you need to know about gaslighting is there's a tendency to dim our light because of this gaslighting without light workers even noticing it. You know, if you're someone who, you know, becomes really angry, like, I'm just gonna speak for myself. You know, when I become angry about all the things that are happening around me and how people treat other people who are suffering, and they don't even like care, like they would be going out buying Starbucks, buying these fancy things, yet a lot of other people are suffering in the sidelines. And it's like, you know, this world is just so unfair. So you know, I get into anger and then just hating this world almost. And it's like, it's almost like now that I look at my pattern back before, I tend to distance myself from this society and just stay in my little corner and kind of dim my light so I don't get attention, so that, you know, other people won't attack me and things like that. And it's like, I don't step into a leadership role. I don't put myself out there, because I know how painful that can be. And you probably know how painful that can be, because if it's not, a lot more light workers will be out there doing the things that they need to do in this world, that they were meant to do in this world, if it's really that easy. So we tend to kind of just hide ourselves to protect ourselves. But if you really think about that, that is what the darkness wants to happen. That is what the darkness wants to happen. If we are not being ourselves in this world, if the world is not seeing our authentic selves, if we are not shining our light for others to see in this world, our mission is delayed. So we need to reframe this. And that's why I am recording this video, because I just want you to think about this, and just suggesting some ways to look at this, you know, because we need each other. So let's share our wisdom here. And the 5th thing I want you to know as a light worker about gaslighting is how how to shine your light amidst all of this, amidst all of the effort that darkness puts in to put us out of balance, to put us out of center, so that we cannot do our job. It's, you know, and one thing that really helped me is what I'm going to share with you. The things that helped me is to be grateful of the darkness, and to see that instead of them trying to topple me, they're testing my foundation. Just like when you're learning karate or martial arts, like you have, you know, these weights and obstacles and other people to fight you so that you can become stronger. And when I see it like that, I feel differently, because I feel like, oh, thank you. You're making me stronger. You're testing my foundations. You're testing the triggers that I may still need to work on and release. So, and when you feel those triggers, those anger and those like negative feelings, it's an opportunity to release them. There's probably trauma within you. Oh, sorry. There's probably something within you, the darkness, the shadow that they are mirroring within you. And it's a good opportunity for you to see that and to transmute that, to release, to grieve, to cry, to whatever your release method is or shadow work method is, to do that until your energy is cleared. And today I feel more cleared than last night. And I feel so good because something in me energetically was cleared, and my it's easier for me to shine my light, and I can feel it, you know. And I want to thank that person who triggered me, because they showed me that, hey, you still have a rocky foundation, and you still need to work on this so that you can become stronger, and then you can face your life, your world from a more empowered state. So being grateful and letting them test your foundation, I think, is one really good way to look at this, so that you can be more empowered about it, and you can be more excited about it, because you're kind of training yourself. So another thing is I think as light workers, because we care about the world so much, we tend to, our care takes our focus to the dark. And if you know about law of attraction, the more what you focus on grows. So if you always like look at everything that's happening that's wrong, everything that's happening that you want to fix, it can devour you. It can take over. So it's important to focus on source, to focus on alignment, to focus on things that make you happy, to focus on to surround yourself with people who uplift you and support you and makes you feel good, who are also bringing light, who authentically loves you and appreciates you and sees you. It's important to focus on light, and I would dare say, kind of use the darkness for light, to use the darkness to work for you. So I'd say it's okay to be a little selfish, and it's okay to care about yourself and what makes you feel good, and what makes your eyes lit up, what makes your day bright. It doesn't mean that you're leaving people behind, because as light workers, that's our blind spot. We feel like we're leaving people behind when we're being happy and we're not thinking about their problems. We feel like a bad person, like some guilt there, at least for me. So but maybe use that little darkness to actually shine light. It's okay to be a little selfish. It's okay to to cultivate your own light first, because we all know we need to put on our masks first before we can help other people. So that selfishness is actually caring for other people, because if you care about yourself, you love yourself, you fill up your own cup, then it's going to be easier to help other people. You know, it's going to be easier to not get triggered by darkness and to actually shine your light. And I want to leave you with an imagery of the sun, because that's one of the things I learned from one of my sessions with Victor Odo, such an amazing coach. During, I think when I did my, I don't know, QHHT session, I can't remember, but my spirit guides told me to serve people, just look at the sun and how it makes all the creatures and all the beings on earth come alive, just by shining its light, just by being itself and shining its light and keeping a distance, you know, from the darkness, just basking in its own light. And I think as light workers, we kind of need to understand that cultivating our own light, setting boundaries, will actually help people more, and we can actually do our job more when we are in our own light and kind of use duality, the yin and yang, to work for us. Because the earth plane is such, now that you think about it, it's a very mystical, enchanting place with both mystery of darkness and light. And I know it's probably going to be so amazing in heaven when there's no darkness. But here on earth, the mixing of the yin and yang, this interplay and dance between dark and light, and how we're teaching each other about life, about source, about creation. You know, there's some beauty about that. I mean, I'll be honest with myself. It's pretty cool that I can stand in my own power and know the value of it in this earth plane with darkness. Like, the darkness actually makes the light shine brighter, and you appreciate it more. And it's like, you know, it's like this, yeah, like proudness, or like really being proud of that light, not in an arrogant way, but you just appreciate it more. So yes, that's all I want to share with you. I hope this helped, and I just really want to, you know, bring support and upliftment to our community, to our Mother Earth, to, you know, what we are journeying as humanity in this earth. So I hope this helped you, and like and subscribe and leave a comment and let me know other topics that you might want to talk about, and I will see you later. Bye. Namaste.